October 4th, 2019. Now, the Democrats are trying to frame Donald Trump for doing something that they did again. So they framed him on Russian collusion. The Mueller report found no evidence of collusion, so the Russian collusion story was a total lie. Now Trump is trying to get to the bottom of it, and they are desperate. It's kind of like when you're caught lying and you get more aggressive and you become meaner because you're about to get caught. So let's talk about a quid pro quo and using government power to your own personal advantage. Paul Manafort was Donald Trump's campaign manager back in the summer of 2016. Biden, Obama, Hillary, somebody in the American government, a Democrat, used our power with the Ukrainians to open an investigation into Paul Manafort's previous consulting with politicians in the Ukraine. Turns out Paul Manafort made a lot of money and he didn't report it to the IRS. Now that story got Paul Manafort canned from the Trump campaign. So you have Donald Trump, who they're terrified of, and they managed to get Paul Manafort, his campaign manager, by using government pressure on the Ukraine to get him. And then in the special counsel's investigation, they found out that they proved that he didn't pay taxes, and now Paul Manafort is doing 20 to 30 years in prison because he was Trump's campaign manager, all because the Democrats pressured the Ukraine to investigate him. Now Trump is doing the same thing to the Ukraine, or similar thing to the Ukraine, that the Democrats did. Nobody's talking about what they did to Paul Manafort. Nobody is talking about the pressure the Obama administration, Biden maybe in particular, and Hillary asked for, to investigate Paul Manafort. Why? Because he was the only one with real political experience in the Trump campaign early on. And they thought if they could get rid of Paul Manafort, which they managed to do with American government pressure on the Ukrainian government, they got rid of Paul Manafort. So they thought Trump's campaign would collapse because they got rid of the only person with experience, his campaign manager, and that was it. Now Paul Manafort is sitting in solitary confinement, probably for the rest of his life, for the sole crime of being Donald Trump's campaign manager. That's not freedom of speech. That's not freedom of political views. That is a dictatorship by the Democrats. Now Trump tries to investigate it, and they accuse him of manipulating and abusing government power. Nobody brings up what they did to Paul Manafort, because Paul Manafort avoided reporting and paying his taxes for, I think, more than a decade. And the IRS weren't on him at all. They didn't know. If it wasn't for the fact that the Democrats pressured the Ukrainians to investigate Paul Manafort, he may or may not have finished the campaign with Trump, but Paul Manafort would be living in a penthouse with his wife and a Lamborghini and a Ferrari. But Paul Manafort is spending the rest of his life in solitary confinement for one reason. The Democratic Party used their governmental power when Obama was in power to eliminate Trump's campaign manager. And now they're going to impeach Trump for even thinking about doing the same thing. Oh, by the way, Joe Biden took bribes and he used Hunter Biden as his front man. That's the main cover-up. You're watching mypresidenttrump.us. Thank you. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Go to mypresidenttrump.us. Thank you.